Hi, I'm Andrea Wallace at the Florida Instructional Materials Center for the Visually Impaired, and today you're going to be learning about the CloverBook Pro and CloverBook XL. The CloverBook Pro comes in a really nice hard case, and it has a pocket on the front and a pocket on the back. It does have the ability to attach a shoulder strap, but it does not come with a shoulder strap, but it does have this handy dandy briefcase handle that folds in nice and flat, and when you're ready to go, it pulls up. Also, I kind of told a little bit of fib about the shoulder strap. I didn't look hard enough. Apparently it does come with a shoulder strap to attach, so there you go. Full and complete kit. The main differences between these two devices are obviously the screen size and the weight. But on the CloverBook XL, which I wish was really part of the CloverBook Pro, is that the screen can tilt toward the viewer. So that way it's upright. This could lead to better ergonomics for longer reading tasks, and also if a student is completing worksheets under the device. The screen can tilt up flat, it can go forward a little bit. Obviously you can play with this to get the best ergonomic position for your student. All right, so I'm gonna unzip this nice bright blue zipper and flip it open like a briefcase, and woohoo, there she is, nice and flat, pretty slim, and it's very light. This really truly is a portable device. There is a handle, so you can pull out the device from the case. I'm gonna push the case off to the side here. To open the device, you're going to hold the base down, the edge of the base here. You're gonna lift up on the handle. While holding the base down flat on the table, you're gonna pull up on the handle to open it up. Then you're going to pull the screen towards you. You can keep your hand on the base so everything stays still. And that's it. On the left edge of the stand, you have the power button, and underneath the power button is where you plug it into charge, that DC charger. Then along the left edge of the screen, you have your HDMI in port, your HDMI out port, a USB-C port, an SD card slot. Then you have the switch button. This is going down the left edge of the device. And then you have the line masking tool, which is the blue button. The switch button toggles between distance, near, and split screen. Along the front edge of the device, you have the home or exit button. You have the contrast or color feature button. And this is a directional pad, so you can take a image and navigate it by using this directional pad. You can also use the directional pad to navigate a live image, which you will see later on in the video. This is the zoom in and out button, and this is your OCR button, so you do have speech on this device. Also, I want to point out that these buttons allow you to manipulate different features, but you can also usually press them, and it brings up a way to use a slider on the screen to also manipulate the feature that you have selected. Along the right edge of the device, you have your freeze image button, which is the orange button. Then you have the autofocus lock, and the autofocus lock is nice because say you have a student who's completing a worksheet, and every time they put their hand underneath, things get fuzzy or focus on their hand, and the worksheet becomes out of focus. So you can just have the worksheet underneath, do autofocus lock, and it's just locked on the focus on that worksheet and won't mess up when you put your hand underneath. And these two buttons here, the minus volume down, and then there's volume up. And then there is a headphone jack, which is a nice feature, so it can be used in class. And so that's all along the right edge of the screen. And then when you get to the edge of the stand, if you're looking at this video, you can see there's like this kind of circle here indicating you need to rotate something. And this is where the distance camera is located. So all you have to do is flip it up or flip it away from you when you have the camera faced in front of you, and the distance camera flips up. And then the small little camera on the arm can rotate, which is pretty nice. And it can rotate all the way around to the front of the device, which gives you your self view. And then not only does the little camera rotate, but the arm of the camera tilts. So you can get different angles for viewing. Inside the box with the CloverBook Pro, you will find the charger, which is a DC charger. You will find a long HDMI cable if you want to connect it to an external screen, like a monitor or a TV. And then there's also a shorter HDMI cable. And this can be used with the external monitor that you can purchase that fits nicely with this device. And I will demonstrate that a little bit later. It also includes a light blocking sheet. And at first I opened this, I'm like, is it a glare protector? What is this? It's in plastic, that's why it's all glary right now. But it's just a matte black piece of plastic that you can attach to the back of the CloverBook to prevent unwanted light from coming in the back and interfering with the light that's underneath. The external screen, purchased separately if you choose to get one, comes in its own little nice gray case. I'll push this back to show you. Unzips and the screen's right inside, and it's so light. I wish I could tell you how light this is. It's so light, and the part that you insert into the back of the CloverBook just folds out, and I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. Now let's check out some of the viewing features. Okay, so there are different ways to view information, but this is just a very brief overview. It doesn't go into all the details, but know there is a different camera to access a full page of text, and you can toggle between that using the home button and going to A4 mode, and this will give you a larger view. It's kind of like using the two different cameras on the new fancy iPhones, using the wide angle lens to get a bigger picture. And you can, again, access that, bring up a menu on the screen, and you press A4 to get that different view. So you can see it has a very high magnification strength already when you put the book underneath, and then you can quickly zoom in using that magnification button and zoom out. You can manipulate the color contrast by turning the wheel to find the student's preferred contrast. And let's say it's white on black, and then you wanted to get back to that natural color real quick. All you have to do is toggle between them by pressing the button, and it'll always go back to that last chosen contrast setting. And then this directional pad will look at live images. Let's say you zoom in on getting started, and now you can do a live navigation of the text underneath the camera without taking a picture of it, which is pretty nice. So you don't have to manipulate the book physically, you can just manipulate the text using this button. And if you remember from earlier in the video, there is some masking and lines available, and you can just cycle through those pressing the blue button on the left.
Mask on.
So there's a line mask, so a student can make sure that they are reading along that same line. And then they also have a vertical one. They have horizontal masking, vertical masking,
line mask off,
and then it'll tell you that it's off. And real quick, I think I will show you, zoom out a little bit here. I'm going to get this getting started paragraph. I'm going to press the speech button.
Text to speech check.
And it's going to bring up a little menu on the screen, and I'm gonna press the one on the right, which is the T in the speech bubble.
Current page text to speech.
It's running the OCR.
34 Unit 2.
And it's gonna read what it captures inside these boxes here, these squares that are on the screen. And you can navigate those squares by either touching, should be able to, touch the screen, and you can navigate the different squares and it highlights. To bring back up that menu so you can read the text, you're just gonna tap the home button. And then you can press play.
Remember Pablo and the day he got really angry and had a talk with his mom? He was upset because he felt like he was missing out on a rite of passage, getting a driver's license like Angelica, Gabriel, and other kids at school. After he talked to his mom, he began to realize.
To pause it, I just press the home button to bring up this menu again, but you can also press the OCR button or the text-to-speech button to make it stop too, and to get it to play again where it left off, you can just press this button again. And you notice that I put the screen down after it ran the OCR. That's because it essentially took an image of what I was focused on at the time. So again, you don't necessarily have to do freeze image. You can just put what you want underneath there, focus on that, and go ahead and run the OCR. So that's pretty nice and handy. You can also continue to zoom in. You can use that directional pad to navigate, and you can change the contrast. One other thing I want to show you that you can do here is press that home button again to bring up that menu. And this is called picture view, and you can do a different
Text mode.
Text mode. And it just brings up text like it had been typed.
Remember Pablo and the day he got really angry and had a talk with his mom? He was upset because he felt
so you get the idea. But anyway, and then it highlights as it reads. So pretty fancy. And remember, this is just a brief overview. The user guide that it comes with is pretty robust and has lots of good specific directions. All right, so that is that. And to get out of this, press and hold the home button. Ta-da, it's back. And it's in the contrast that I last had. So pretty nice, very easy to use features. So now that you've seen a little bit about what it can do with the text, the distance feature is probably my favorite. And I love this camera so much because it's just, it seems durable and very easy to use and manipulate. And going from near and distance is super easy. So I do have a small whiteboard that's in the back of the room, but this is a very small room. So this is not a great demonstration of what it can do distance-wise and from how far away. But it will show you what can be done. So I'm gonna press that switch button on the left edge that's above the line masking tool, and
distance view.
It's gonna tell you what it's doing. It's going to distance view. So now it's only showing what's available in the distance. And I've got my camera facing it. And again, you can kind of see its rotation. I want to make sure you can see this, and there's glare on my screen, and I'm so sorry this isn't the best. There we go, that's better. So you can see I can turn the camera. You can see this lovely
mirror view.
And then it does mirror view. Hi everybody.
Distance view.
And then can turn it back around for distance view. All right. And then you can zoom in. Give it a second to adjust itself. There we go. Then you can zoom in. You can change the position of the camera to get exactly what you need, but you can see how far it zooms in. Then you can even just turn the camera. And then even whatever's within the camera view, the student can actually, instead of turning the camera, can use this directional pad to navigate what is far away. Isn't that cool? So they don't really have to manipulate the camera all that much. So I'm gonna zoom out again. Whoopsie, sorry. I'm gonna zoom out. and you can just have the camera focused on where it needs to be on the board. You can zoom in. Okay, zoomed in all the way. I can't go anymore, it's telling me, but now I want to get in that top left-hand corner. I'm going to press up on the directional pad, and it gives me like a red line saying I can't go anywhere anymore. I'm going to go to the left, all the way to the left, top left-hand corner. Ooh, and it's telling me it can't go anymore. So at least I know I can't go anymore using the directional pad. But I want to zoom out a little bit, find where, oh, I was on the wall. Woohoo! So it captures quite a wide breadth. I'm going to zoom back in here. I need my schoolwork. So I can zoom in, and then I know my problem's down here. Oopsie. And now I can access my problem that I need to do for my bell work. I know there's another one down below. So that's super handy. I'm really impressed by this feature. As you can see, students are going to need practice using this feature just like they would with a monocular to locate things in the distance and scan. Now, what's really cool is that this also becomes a split screen. You don't necessarily need the external screen, but you'll see why it's beneficial in a minute. So I'm going to toggle. I'm going to use that switch button again to change my views.
Horizontal split screen.
So I'm in horizontal split screen, and you can see where I was last focused. There's my problem, the square root of 56, and below I can put my worksheet or whatever it is I'm working on, and I can do my work under here or follow along with the teacher if she's doing board work. Oh, and so the red square or rectangle indicates that I can manipulate the magnification of what is below my camera. Now I can change this, I can toggle it by just tapping the screen. So I want to change the magnification up at the board, and that's all I have to do is tap. Okay, great. Now I want to get back to my worksheet and follow along with my teacher. And I can zoom in and do what I need to do. I can use the directional pad to navigate, or again, I can go up top, zoom in, and do the same thing. So love that, love it. It also does a vertical split screen, which is pretty nice too, and can give you a better view, especially if the teacher's up there actually performing the work and doing the board work. Then you can have your worksheet under here. Pretty cool. Now, say that's just too small of an area for a split screen. You can take the external screen, pull out that slim piece of plastic that's behind the external screen, and there is a slot in the crossbar right in here that you slide the camera, or I keep wanting to call it the camera, sorry, the external screen into. So you just slide it in this slot here, and then voila, you have two screens. And either one can do near or distance. And we're not done yet because now the HDMI cable has to be plugged in to make this work. So something interesting that I just noticed while I've been working with this for a little bit is the fan turned on because it's getting a little bit hot. And so there is a noise component here, and it's like a laptop fan, and that's how loud it is. But just something to be aware of. Don't worry, it's not breaking or, getting ready to explode. All right, so I plugged the HDMI cable into the port, and I'm gonna plug it into the one on the screen as well. Oopsie. Okay, it's gonna tell you.
External screen connected.
Woohoo! External screen connected. And this also has a little plug for DC, but I think it primarily probably gets its power from the device. Sorry, I didn't really research that a whole lot, but I'm sure it's in the manual. Okay, so now for near, we have the top screen, and then this is showing the distance camera, the screen of the CloverBook, but you can change all that.
Near view.
Okay, they're both showing distance.
Distance view.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was not distance, that was near. Now they're both showing distance.
Split screen.
Now it's going to do split screen, and here is the very cool astronomy book and the board. You can go between manipulating the zoom of near and distance, but remember this red square tells you what you are focused on. So that's what, if you use the zoom in, that's what it's going to zoom in on, or anything that you change or manipulate will be on that particular screen that the red square is on. So I want to get it to distance, I want to zoom in and manipulate that. So I'm going to press the home button, and I'm going to press this distance view.
Activate distance view.
Toggle that's on the screen. And so now the red square is in the distance, and now I can zoom in there and use the directional pad to navigate the screen. And then if I want to bring it back, same thing, home screen, and I'm gonna
activate near view.
Get the near view. And earlier I double tapped this screen and it went to distance, and getting it back was a little more challenging, but I'm gonna try it again just for funsies.
Activate distance view.
Woohoo! So it went to distance view just by double tapping, and then I think you can double tap towards the bottom. Nope, just kidding. Don't have that quite figured out yet, but I thought it was cool. But you can touch or double tap different parts of the screen to put the camera focus elsewhere, which I thought was wild. Now I don't know where I am. I'm gonna use my little directional pad. I think I'm on the wall somewhere. And I'll come back. But yeah, so really cool features built in, so much to play with and learn with this device. Very robust, so lots of great ways to access print and text in the classroom, and also have some auditory access as well. So I highly recommend checking out these devices. They seem very durable. I'd be curious to hear from people out in the field who are using them, but I'm looking forward to hearing, what's going on out there if you're using this device, and what your experiences are like when you trial them. I just really think this was super innovative. It's lightweight, it truly is portable, it provides near and distance access, even if you just have the one screen. But remember, it has another HDMI cord, so other screens can be connected to it in other situations. And I just love the versatility of this camera. Just everything about this device seems really great. So that's it about the CloverBook Pro. Very quick introduction, lots to play with and learn, and can't wait to hear how it goes out there. Thank you.